Well, all right, folks, we are going to do One Man Talking Tuesday. And to start off, I got my Ancestry.com and the thing saying your DNA and where you're from and your ancestry and all that stuff. And got to put my glasses on for this one. I had to write it down so I didn't forget them all. But I got 33% English in Northwest Europe. So I don't know if that means 33% Englishman. You. But 22% German. And here we go. 60% Scottish. Here's my Scottish. 12% French. And we have 6% Ireland. Only 6% Irish. I thought I had more Irish in me than that. I thought I was more Irish than I was Scottish. Which is all good. It's still a Celt, you know. I got 4% Denmark. I don't know nothing about them. We got 4% Iceland. And I actually looked that up because a lot of people are getting the Iceland and thinking that they might be Norse, you know, like Viking. But it could be a lot of... See, people get that confused, like Viking, that was a race or a people or something. Viking was a profession, like basically in the Norse, community. And a lot of people ended up being Vikings or Irish Vikings, this and that. So it could end up being that your 4% over there in Iceland could be that, part of your clan or whatever just went out there. And that could be part of my Irish, that could be part of my Scottish, or it could be Norse, who knows? I don't know if you have to go deeper into that 4% to find out exactly what it is or not, but so 4% Iceland, which could be Norse, it could be Celtic, Gaelic, whatever, who knows? So, anyways, and 3% Wales. So, that is what my DNA came back as. And I was really surprised about the Irish. I thought I had a bit more Irish in there than that. I knew about the Scottish because my grandpa, I believe, he was like second generation over there. I think he was like half Scottish. But I thought there was a bit more of that stuff in there, the Scottish and the Irish, especially the Irish. But anyways, it's cool to get that and then just start learning about each part of your DNA, the Irish, the Scottish, and this and that, and start to learn more about it. And I think it's pretty cool. So yeah. Anyways, that's Ancestry.com, and I think they were pretty freaking cool. And it takes a while. They send this package, and I think you don't eat or drink for a while or something like that. And then I think you spit in the little container and everything. Boop, put everything back. You send it out. Boom, and then they analyze it and tell you what the heck you are. It's pretty cool. But anyways, all right, folks. And all right, folks. So another part of the One Man Talking Tuesday I want to talk about. It's kind of sort of with this thing with Rampage Jackson's son, who I thought was a pretty awesome fighter. But I think there was a lot of screw-ups and mistakes made on this. And unfortunately, I think the kid has to pay for what he did. But allegedly, what's going on is he went to this wrestling area. You got to remember, these guys are UFC guys. So he went to this wrestling thing. Now, as we all know, I'm a wrestling fan. I watch WWE. And, of course, for everybody who's not a fan, don't you know that's fake? Get out of here. I never knew that. Don't you know the chairs and everything they use are props? Get out of here. I did not know that. And I'm very aware. All wrestling is like a man's freaking soap opera, okay? That's what happens when guys make soap operas. We get wrestling. So, anyways, us wrestling fans are very well aware that it's scripted. Now, everybody in the world freaking knows this, I think, unless you're like a really young kid and still think it's real. So this guy knew things are scripted. They knew that these wrestlers aren't UFC guys. But anyways, he got a bit pissed off because the guy smacked him with a prop, thinking that he was a wrestler. He didn't realize he wasn't a wrestler, And then he apologized. The apology was accepted. Everything was cool. And then they hooked him up, and so he could get a little payback. You know, they hooked him up, said you're going to go in the ring and you get to body slam him and, you know, hit him a couple times and we'll get you off and da-da-da. Make a big show out of it, you know. So he gets in there and he just, you know, he body slams the guy. The guy, he doesn't do it right, of course, because he's not a professional wrestler. He's a real fighter. And he slams the guy. The guy's knocked out. Now, the guy's knocked out cold. And you hit him 22 freaking times. 22 freaking times. Smash his teeth in, you know, probably just destroyed his jaw and everything. Probably his face is probably like really bad. And according to what I've read, is he flatlined in the ring, and he was choking on his own blood. You know, I think this man has to pay for that. You know, I think everybody in this world knows that it's scripted, it's fake, and you took advantage of that, and you hurt somebody very badly. If you flatlined, you killed him. You killed him. They brought him back or whatever, but you killed him. You know, and I believe this individual needs to pay for that. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm not there and I don't know what the hell went on. But from everything you're seeing on social media and everything, you know, that's my opinion of it. But it takes me to another area where this kid, this guy getting in, and if you see him afterwards, he's crying, pissing and moaning. Sick and tired, everybody messing with me. People poking me. Ain't nobody gonna mess with me no more. You're you're supposed to be a UFC fighter, which means you're pretty much supposed to be a badass. One of the badasses in the world, okay? UFC, they're no punks. And you got Rampage Jackson as a dad. So I don't think you had any poor time, okay? I think you've been pretty privileged all your life and had some money and some good stuff in your life, okay? So I don't think, you know, you need to go around pissing and moaning. And to me, it's that entitled mindset that this generation has. That's just the way I'm looking at it. And I see it today. Like I said in the video yesterday about the bullies with my son. Now, back in the day, I would come out that fence when you walk by, you know, after school, and you walk by the house. I'm coming out that fence, and I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to have a good talking to you. You know what I'm saying? And if you try anything with me, I have no problem. You know, I'm not going to put hands and just sit there like this guy. But, you know what I'm saying? There's no problem. Say, listen, pal, you know, that's how it was in the old school. I'm sorry. If you talk smack in the old school, I was down in Texas as a youngster. I'm sorry. You didn't go up, even if it's not my dad, okay? It's somebody else's dad. And I'm at their house and I get disrespectful with them, you know? That dad's going to have some words, if not some shaking me around hands, you know? I'm sorry. That's just the way it was back then. Back then, you didn't disrespect your elders. You know what I'm saying? If you go around bullying people, there's going to be repercussions, you know? So, I think these kids today, they know they can say stuff, they can do stuff, they can push you as far as you can. That's why you got these freaking goofballs. My son watches this one goofball. Oh, I can't stand him. Him and his buddies, they go into like Walmart and everything, and they'll walk right up to you and put their butt like practically right on you. Do like a fake fart or something like that, and then look at you. Or they'll go up to your cart, take something out of your cart, fart on it, and put it back in. I'm sorry. I'm Gen X, bro, okay? In my day, you got laid out, okay? And after you got laid out, Walmart security probably came over and said, yeah, all right, let's get them on out of here. Drug them out and said, don't come back in again. Nowadays, you do anything, you're getting arrested. Everything's good. And they know you can't do nothing. And they know they're recording. They're recording, so anything you do, you know, they got they have the evidence right there. So, you know, there's nothing you can do with these kids today. And this generation is absolutely freaking horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just absolutely anything after Gen X, you guys are going downhill, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're gonna have to excuse me. I can't remember how the saying goes. Actually, I'll be right back. Let me check this saying out. Okay, so I think I got it. I believe it was hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And I think that's exactly what's going on. Since Gen X, you know, Gen X, those were strong men that raised us, okay? They went through hard times, and they were strong men, okay? And us Gen Xers, we grew up, and yeah, we're still a little bit rough on our kids and everything, and whatnot. But we're nowhere near as rough and tough as our parents were. And then the Generation X for that, they're definitely nowhere near as tough as Gen X was. So what's going on now is I believe we're in that weak men creating hard times period. I think that's what we're in right now because I'm seeing a bunch of kids running around, and this is a very weird generation with their little skinny jeans. They don't know they don't know their genders, and these kids are freaking messed up, man. And I'm seeing a lot of weakness, very very weak. Like if you were a foreign country and didn't like America, I do not understand why you ain't attacking. But anyways, you know that's my opinion. I think we have made a very weak country, very, probably the last two generations, very weak generations, nowhere near as tough in the past, and part of it is there's no discipline, there's no nothing. That the family unit is being destroyed, single moms everywhere. So you got boys being raised by a woman, Where's the man to teach him how to be a man? Where is he? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, there's a lot of people talking about, people have privilege in this country. And I don't think it's a white privilege, black privilege, this privilege, that privilege. I believe it's a money privilege. You ain't got privilege unless you got money. Trust me on that. So, anyways, God bless. All right. And this is my one man talking Tuesday. A bit of an opinion and rant, if you will. But I'm just going to chill out and hang out and finish this here day with Butchie. Let's see if we can see Butchie. Where is he? He's over there. There he is. There's the Butchie. There's the Butchie. See, he knows when I. Oops, sorry about that, folks. But he knows when I put the camera on him because he avoids the camera now, thinking he's all that. So, anyways, all right. Don't forget. Always forward to the next adventure. Till next time. The vlog is down. I totally screwed that ending up. So, anyways, later, folks.